All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is episode 54 of the Yellow Card Podcast. It's been a while since Chris and I have done an episode together. Our boy Andrew is conquering Maine somewhere along the lines and probably celebrating the fact that Everton are tied against Manchester United right now.
The magic, baby.
Andrew, if you're listening to this right now, I hate you more than ever, more than the 3-3 tie. So it is what it is.
We're gonna talk about this game more next.
Oh, can't wait. But episode 53 brought to you by the Couch Guy Sports Network. And are you all ready for this? Because we got a big announcement to make. We are officially partnered with our friends over at Shocked Energy. Chris, listen, it's early in the morning right now. It's way too early in the morning right now for me. And I don't know about you, but you ever feel just completely unable to focus, tired, and just low of energy in the morning or any time of the day?
It's me right now.
Trust me, I understand that feeling. And that's because I understand it so well that the Yellow Card Podcast, like I said, is brought to you by the Couch Guy Sports Network and sponsored by our friends over at Shocked Energy. Shocked Energy is a drink made by gamers for gamers. All their flavors come packed with 180 milligrams of caffeine to ensure that no matter what you're doing, your focus will always be razor sharp to keep you performing at the top of your game. Their formulas are designed to specifically give you high energy boost when you need it, while also ensuring to avoid the jitters after too much caffeine, which we all get. Head over to www.shockedenergy.com and use the promo code CGSN, as in Couch Guy Sports Network, CGSN, today for 10% off of your order. Check out the green apple flavored box, which I have on the way, or even the watermelon flavored box, which I also have on the way. And don't worry, if you're listening to this out of anywhere in Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, South America, doesn't matter. Guess what? They ship worldwide. That's right, worldwide. Get your Shocked Energy today and let us help you gain your energy and focus back in a healthy manner. So, Chris, episode 54. I know we made some predictions last week in regards to the Champions League, how it would go. It's been a good ride so far the past 2 weeks for us in terms of Champions League. It's been very, 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 very close. I know you and Andrew are basically virtually tied for the record of first place. But how did we do after week 2? Who's holding the record now?
So I mean, let's put this into perspective here. Andrew and I are one and the same when it comes to records. Andrew and I both finished 9-7 last week, as we finished 8-8 match day 1. So we're combined. Let's do math in my head. 17-15 on the campaign so far. And Diego finished 8-8 after coming off his 7-9 performance from the week before. But I'll give Diego a bunch of credit. He went 2-6 on Tuesday, 6-2 on Wednesday. He looked damn good Wednesday. And I was surprised that a couple of his didn't turn it into an 8-0 day for him. But Diego is currently sitting at 15-17 for the record.
All right. So as you boys heard it, Andrew and Jones still in a virtual tie. I'm just right behind, but don't worry, I'll catch up. It's only week 2. Can't get too excited about having an elite like that. So hate to burst your bubbles. But let's talk about the Champions League week 2, because there were a few surprises in terms of score lines and storylines as well. One of the major storylines, considering who they are and what they are these days, happens to be Barcelona. Barcelona lost in only Ronald Koeman fashion, 3-0 to Benfica, and also managed to get a red card, which affects Garcia from playing their defender, Eric Garcia, from playing Champions League for the next 2 weeks at the very least for that red card, because it was a yellow and then a red card after. So, Chris, what are some of your takeaways from this match? I mean, let's also give credit where credit is due. Benfica showed their class, man. They were good. They were damn good. What are some of your takes here when it comes to Benfica?
Well, let's just show some respect where it's due for you and I, who called Benfica to beat Barcelona.
That's right.
So
That's
let's
right.
put some respect on that. But I don't know. I just think more so Benfica just kind of all around controlled Barcelona. I know the possession led 60% to 40 on Barcelona's side, but Barcelona was doing the classic Barcelona thing where they just move it around the pitch, but they don't do anything with it.
No.
But I think what didn't help was Darwin Núñez scoring within the first 3 minutes of the game. Barcelona was literally playing catch up since then.
Yeah.
So for Barcelona moving forward, you can't get behind that early. No team really can, but especially to this Benfica team, which is very, very good defensively. And I think they have a realistic chance of finishing top 2 in the group after this performance.
I mean, you point out their defense, and they have experienced players like Nicolas Otamendi from Argentina, Jean Bertonga from Belgium, who used to play for Tottenham. So, I mean, these are
they got Yao Mario as well.
Yeah, they got João Mario. So, I mean, these are people with a lot of experience on their careers and whatnot. And these are people who are aspiring these kids to push the game further ahead of what they already pushed it. And like you mentioned, Núñez has looked real good. And that 3rd-minute goal, oh my God, I don't know if you saw it, but if I had been Barcelona, I pretty much would be pretty offended, and I would have been wanting to catch up quickly, and they just lacked it. No, they couldn't do it. I mean, if you look at these stats, just shots on target 1 out of 8. That's embarrassing. That's absolutely embarrassing, especially for a club like Barcelona that's supposed to be, top 5 in the world. Like this is more like bottom 5 in the world right now. Benfica took 12 shots, 6 of them on target, 3 of them converted to actual goals. So, I mean, at this point, like it's really just time for
two contributed to goals.
Well, 2 contributed to goals, but they also
scored on the PK.
Yeah, that's considered a shot on target. That's
why. Is it actually considered?
Yeah, that's why I had to say 3, because I know what you're saying, like 2 from range, but 2, 3, yeah, PKs for some odd reason that's considered shots on target, which I don't understand why they do that. But what I was gonna say is, I'm telling you, I don't see Koeman lasting in Barcelona past October. It's time. It's time for Xavi, or it's time for Roberto Martinez to step into things here.
Well, let's be honest here. You're looking at how many goals against they have. They're already -6 in goal differentials, and they haven't scored a goal in the Premier League and Jesus, in the Champions League yet.
They are forced. They're forced to win. Like they have no other choices but to win the next 2 matches. Otherwise, they're done.
They played Dynamo Kiev, and then I think it's them again in the 4th match there. Let me check.
Their 4th match is against Bayern, I think.
No, it's against Dynamo Kiev again. So they play Dynamo back to back, so they have to win those. And then, but imagine you're still gonna end at home against Benfica, and then you're gonna end
away against Bayern, right?
Is it away against Bayern?
I think it's away.
Let me check. Bayern. Yeah, away at Bayern. You're right.
Ooh, so which that's brutal. Playing in Bayern at home, it's very brutal.
No, so I don't know. I think they're in trouble. I think this is kind of like where Manchester United was towards the end of the group stage last year.
Yep. All right. So another surprise, moving on from Barcelona. We know the kind of trash barrel that they're working with right now. Another surprise, the Sheriffs are here to stay. Moldova representing big time, with a team full of young, inspired people just ready to take things to the next level. We saw goals from Phil and Yakshivov. I think it's his last name. I good luck to me. But
if you can't pronounce it, I for sure cannot.
That 89th minute goal from Sheriff after a 1-1 thriller that this match had put out, which, by the way, I think you and I call this game to be very close in a thriller, in thrilling fashion. And that was exactly what it was. 2-1 score for Sheriff. Real Madrid, man, some things are just not clicking together at all. I feel bad for Carlo. Carlo's going to need to heavily replace this defense because that defense is bad, real bad. Like Gutierrez and Nacho are just not working at all. David Alava, I mean, he can only do so much, and so can Eder Militao. But when your wingers are just not there to help you at all, I don't know. I don't know what else he can do.
You know what the crazy side of that matchup was?
Good.
The fact that Real Madrid had 31 shots in total. And 11 were on target. They only could get one in against a Sheriff team at home against that team, which is just wild to me. And the only goal they really scored was off of PK for Benzema.
And
so
then listen,
they weren't even creating good chances.
And then you look at Sheriff. Yeah, they only possessed the ball for about 20% of the time, 25, 24, whatever you want to call it. But their shots on target percentage, though, they took 4 shots and 3 of them on target. That's about 90% of your production. And then 90%.
75, you think of it? In total,
well, yeah, I mean, if you want to,
but like I
want to go that way.
Yeah.
But out of the 3, 2 of them were goals. That's that's a team that's like not working too hard to bring the results and still bringing the results. And now they're sitting at the top of their group, 6 points, 2 matches played, 2 wins, 3 goal differential, 4 in favor, 1 against. I mean, that's a team clicking in all cylinders, man.
Could they be the Gladbach of this group this year? Because it's the same. It's the same group as last year, but Gladbach's getting replaced by Sheriff. Could they be the Gladbach this year?
So I basically called it before the Champions League started. Basically said that I had the feeling that Sheriff was going to be the Gladbach of this year, and they're just giving that all together. They really are. I really think that if they can manage to win the third match, they're all set. Either win or tie, they're all set. They're set to go and move on to the next round.
I don't know if they're going to be all set there because, like you said, there's still 4 games left. Anything's possible, but they desperately need. So they're playing Inter next, and they definitely need to come out and show how good they are against this Inter Milan team. Which again, wildly underperforms in the Champions League. Every time they're in the Champions League, they wildly underperform. They drew against Shakhtar Donetsk this week. Now they're sitting in tied for third.
Yeah.
Tied for third, 0-1-1 with a -1 goal differential. It's not good. It's not a good look for them.
And I gotta tell you that they roll out a 3-5-2 formation, but that 5 is not working for them. It's just not. If they were to go more with a 4-3-3, I think that would be far more realistic and far more productive. But that 3-5-2 is just not working for them because Dumfries is really taking all the work of a right winger midfielder rather than a defensive right wing, and that's just not his role. That's just not his role. You're utilizing him wrong. Brozovic had barely any participation in the match. Barella was all over the place, just trying to compensate for other positions. It didn't look good for Inter. It really didn't. I'm worried for Inzaghi. I know he's trying to do the right thing, but I'm worried for his future there. And then last but not least, Liverpool. My goodness, what a spanking on Porto. I really am surprised there, considering that Porto has looked real solid. Not to take away any credit from Liverpool. I mean, when you look at Liverpool's front 3, Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota, Mo Salah, I mean, that's scary altogether in itself. But again, Porto were able to contain last year, and this year it just seems like a complete different dynamic. They're hardly utilizing their potential to what they really can. What are some of your reactions on the Liverpool side of things?
I mean, it was just a good game for the front 3 minus Jota. Obviously, you're filling him for Firmino, and Firmino comes in, scores 2 goals, makes it a 5-1 game. literally, I think he came on in what minute did he come on in? He came on in the 67th.
Yeah.
And he within 15 minutes he scored 2 goals. So it was just a great performance for them, especially on the road too. I thought they were going to struggle at Porto. I won't lie to you. And honestly, the Everton fan had the most faith in Liverpool just destroying them last week. So I have to give Andrews credit there. I thought Liverpool would sneak like a 1-0 victory here. I did not expect them to win 5-1.
Yeah, no, I mean, I sort of expected Liverpool to win this one. I think I called it a tie, if anything. But I'm shocked that Porto allowed 5 goals and then I really am shocked. Then the next 3 storylines are just PSG 2 over Manchester City. Great match there. Messi finally got his 90 minutes of play, and he got a goal at the 74th minute. Beauty of a goal. I mean, that's kind of expected out of Lionel Messi. Bayern blows over Dynamo Kiev 5-0. Juventus wins over Chelsea 1-0. That was a good little surprise there. Federico Chiesa basically putting the team on his back and just carrying it all together. They look real good, top of the table right now. 6 points, no goals against, which is phenomenal. So they're leading their group right now. And then last but not least, the rematch of the Europa League final between Manchester United and Villarreal. Manchester United wins over Villarreal 2-1. Alex Telles gets his first start with the team for the year, and he gets a beauty of a goal at the 60th minute. I mean, an absolute screamer. Even better, literally within 7 minutes from Villarreal getting their head start over Real Madrid. Alex Telles just showed his world class, and this was an absolute beauty. Cristiano Ronaldo then manages to finish things up as extra time was added on towards the end of the match. Cristiano Ronaldo scores at the 95th minute to end things in beautiful Manchester United fashion. So that's that for the Champions League. We won't see action again for about 3 weeks as there is an international break in between. So we'll be back on Champions League action come the week of October 19th. But for now, let's go.
Can I say one thing before we dive into other topics?
Yeah.
Remember when we talked about bold takes last week?
Yeah.
And what did I say? I talked about how many red cards there were going to be this week.
Oh yeah. You mentioned something about red cards being another factor this week.
Another 4 red cards given in these matches.
It's
just
crazy.
all out. That's 10 red cards in 2 match days. That's absurd.
And these matches have all been like extremely physical too. Like I'm surprised that there's no like real bad injuries happening. Not that you wish it upon anybody, but these matches have all been extremely physical from all sides. All right, so let's dive over into the Premier League. So today, Saturday, October 2nd, there's a match between Manchester United and Everton, which has concluded in a tie, 1-1. Then we have Chelsea, Southampton, Wolves, Newcastle, Burnley, Norwich, Leeds at Watford, Brighton at Arsenal, Tottenham tomorrow versus Aston Villa, West Ham and Brentford, Crystal Palace and Leicester City, Liverpool and Manchester City tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So far right now, the standings in the Premier League, Liverpool on top of things, 14 points, first place. United right behind them, only trailing by 3-goal differential, 14 points as well. Everton right behind United, third place. Goal differential is the difference here. Manchester City and Chelsea tied for 4th place at 13 points. Brighton right behind them at 13 points as well. West Ham, Villa, Brentford, and Arsenal are your top 10 right now. Any takes here, Chris, in regards to the Premier League so far through 7 game 7 matches played.
6 for the majority, 7 for
Yeah, 7
United
for
and
Everton.
Everton.
Yeah.
Especially the way that Arsenal started off the season and the way that Tottenham started off the season. It's kind of weird to see Arsenal ahead of Tottenham at the moment.
Yep.
I won't lie to you. I figured Tottenham would be a bigger story and they'd be higher up, but that hasn't been the case so far. I think one of my big takeaways is teams like Everton and Brighton are playing well above their roster right now, and I think for like Andrew's team, Rafa Benitez is starting to get them really going really early. But can he keep it up? I think that's the big thing for them. Is if they can keep it up, I think that they will chef's kiss. But if they can't, it's going to be just like how Carlo had it last year. Carlo had him rocking out of the gate, and then they hit a bump by like match day 14 last year, and then they just struggled the rest of the year.
Yep. I think for them, the key component here is keeping Andrews Townsend healthy and keeping Demarai Gray healthy as well. Just things to heavily consider, because if those two are not participating in a game, Everton is a complete different club from where they are right now.
Agreed.
I'm kind of shocked with Manchester City, man. A lot of potential here, a lot of talent in their roster, and it's weird to see them struggling to produce. 4-1-1 record right now, which is fine. It's not anything to worry about right now. But for Manchester City, a club that just got Jack Grealish, has Kevin De Bruyne, and some of the most powerful offensive lines when it comes to production, just really not there at all. It's rumored that this is Pep Guardiola's last season with the team. With Pep being out next season potentially, who's a good fit for Manchester City as a head coach?
That's a great question, man. Because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, I go, what guy could easily be the next head coach for this team? And to be honest with you, there are a couple names that I have in mind, but like I just don't know, honestly. You know what I mean?
I think I think for City, the only option right now is if Antonio Conte stays unemployed this year. Antonio Conte would be the right fit for that club, because you can't take a step back and bring somebody back like Mourinho, because he's world class and he has the potential to be the next Pep Guardiola. Like I don't think that's a good idea. Zinedine Zidane would not be a good fit for this club at all. He would absolutely demolish this club. Other than that, I'm just not sure. I mean, there are some other great coaches, Frank Lampard, Steve Gerrard, and all these guys, but I'm not sure that they're going to want to go and coach their arch rival teams, especially after, Lampard was super allegiant to Chelsea and Steve Gerrard is a Liverpool figure. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure who could be the next coach for Manchester City.
I like don't get me wrong. I have a couple names that I could throw. Like I think one would be like Brendan Rodgers would be a good one for them if they can pry him away from Leicester. I know the success hasn't been there for him, but at the same time, if you look at Man City's roster compared to Leicester's roster, I think anybody can have success with that. I don't think you get the late season collapse like we've been accustomed to so far in Leicester. And then another one I had, honestly, was Bielsa from Leeds.
Could very well be. Could very well be. But the problem with Bielsa right now is the inconsistencies that we're seeing. I mean, this Leeds United team is nothing like what they were last year. Absolutely nothing. And they kept everybody. It's just, it's worrisome. In fact, they added more pieces there with Daniel James, and additional pieces. They're struggling to find the form.
Junior Firpo hasn't been as big as people would have thought for them so far.
Yeah. I mean, they're currently in 18th place, which qualifies for relegation. If they keep this up, I think the season will just get ahead of them, and not enough time for them to be able to get out of that zone. Yeah, I mean, that for Manchester City, next year, if Pep is really, really done, that is a big, big, big worry for them to cover because there's not a lot of coaches like him out there.
No, they're most certainly not.
So today, Manchester United, like I said, they tied against Everton. They look okay right now, second place for Manchester City in the Premier League. However, Ollie continues to experiment with this lineup. I get it. It's early in the season. You kind of want to do that anyways. But by the same token, how much more experimenting do you do until you finally have a lineup that works and you get some consistency going? Because the games themselves have not been consistent at all. There's days where United looks absolutely phenomenal right from the get-go, and there's days where you just like, why is he still coaching? What are your thoughts on Manchester United for now?
I just like you said, they just need to find the consistency. Once they find the consistencies, then I think everything's just going to make it that much easier for them. I just think the big thing for them right now is they have to they have to legitimately sit down with Ollie, look at him and be like, look, like we need to have this, and this happen. Once this happens, then we can finally get the ball rolling here. I mean, right now, currently on trending on Twitter as we're recording is sack Ollie. So Manchester United fans are not pleased with him right now.
No, and they're not.
Don't get me wrong. He hasn't done much for them as of late, but like they're still consistently at the top of the table. Still my pick to win the Champions League this year. I do think that they are going to move on from him. Still, I'm just waiting for it to become official.
Yeah, I'm worried about that, and I think that's where Antonio Conte could go very, very soon. I think he's the next head coach of Manchester United. If the Glazers bring in Zinedine Zidane, I think I stop watching for the season because that guy just sucks. That guy just absolutely sucks. And he has terrible, terrible relationships when it comes to Ronaldo and Rafael Varane. Like both of those players left Real Madrid because of reasons with him and relationships with him that the club did not take care of them at all. And therefore, it was time for them to just be like, I'm out. See ya. All right. So Premier League, that does it for Premier League. Dude, the Revolution.
Yeah. No, they look good. They look really good.
They're just, I don't even have words to describe them anymore because they are just so damn good. At this point, so I don't know if you saw earlier in this week, but our co-host, Mr. Andrew Fasciano, wrote a piece on Carlos Gil being the MVP of the season for the Revolution. They won. Oh my God, what did they win? They have 4 players in World Cup qualifying rounds. So Tajon Buchanan, obviously for Canada, Matt Turner, obviously for the U.S., and a couple others. Right now, they sit at top of the table of the Eastern Conference, 65 points, clear lead, about 19 points ahead of Nashville, which is in second place. 20 wins, 4 losses, 5 draws. What an unbelievable record for the Revolution. It's probably one of the best records I've seen for them in years. I think we talked about how the playoffs are going to work in last episode. However, do you see any concerns here for the Revolution? Any potential surprises that we could see come playoffs?
I mean, they just have to play their game. If they're able to play their game, I think they match up well with literally everybody. They're the only team in the league currently with 20 wins in the East and the West. Next closest is Seattle with 15. The goal differential, I believe they also lead the league in goal differential as well with plus 23. There is nobody even close to them in points in the Eastern Conference. They've clinched the 1 seed. They've clinched everything that they needed to clinch. Now, I think my only thing with them is they struggled with New York City FC and then Montreal. If they can avoid either of those 2 teams, I think it's a smooth sailing to the the MLS Cup final.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned Montreal because 2 days ago they just played them and they won 4-1. They absolutely trashed Montreal, which I agree with you. Normally they are a concern to us. They give us a hell of a game, but good God, the Revolution just looked unrecognizable. And 2 days ago, Bruce Arena is just doing magical things with this team, man. And like we said, and when we had earlier in the year when we had AJ De La Garza, like the more I think back to that interview that we did with him, the more that everything that he said like absolutely is like spot on. The guy is somebody that brings experience, can motivate the team when needed, can rally the troops together, relies on the experience of those experienced players to motivate others. It's really good at having a good chemistry in the locker room. Like all these things are so portrayed on the field that when you look at them play, it's just like, why can't he coach like every like the U.S. men's national team? Like, you know, some of these other teams that like could use somebody like that to really bring their potential out. But like I said, the Revolution are just on the path to ending this season in a magical way. Congratulations to the Revolution again for clinching that playoff spot. Can't wait for the playoffs. I really just want to go to a playoff game badly now. Like I want November 7th to roll around and just be like, all right, it's playoff season. Let's go. Let's get this going. Any last and final takes? Soccer all around.
I'm gonna go bold here today, and I think that we will finally see Norwich City get in the win column.
Oh, I actually kind of like that take because they're facing Burnley, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go in a different route. I think Leeds United comes out firing at all will against Watford, and it's a 3-0 win for Leeds.
Okay. I like that.
I think we see Marcelo Bielsa finally just have enough. I mean, this lineup that he's coming out with today looks actually really, really, really good. 4-1-4-1. Shackleton, Diego Llorente, Luke Cooper, Firpo in the back, Calvin Phillips right down the middle as the CDM, the perfect position for him to play. Rafinha starting as well.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, Klitsch, and Daniel James, and then Rodrigo up front. Every time that he has Rodrigo as the sole leader of that offense, this team just has some bestiality all around, and I'm really interested to see how they play. Watford is lined up with Rose, Sierralta, Truskek, Firmina in the back. They have a 4-2-3-1 formation. Sissoko, Kuka, Sar, Tufan, Bonaventure, and Josh King up front. So it's gonna be a great match, man. But I really think Marcelo Bielsa is gonna bring the heat today. They have a really, really good bench today as well. The likes of Harrison, Struick, Cresswell, and McKinstry. If this is the Leeds United that I can expect for them today, I'm sticking to that 3-0 score over Watford. But again, that does it for episode 54 of the Yellow Card Podcast. Once again, make sure you use the code CGSN when you go to www.shockedenergy.com. Get your Shocked Energy, man. Get your Shocked Energy. Healthy, really, really good flavors, extremely good tasting. I've had a couple of samples, and that's why I got myself a pack. Like the product is just absolutely delicious. No jitters afterwards, which is even better because I don't know about you, Chris, but whenever I have Red Bull or Rockstar or anything like that, like the jitters after that, I just like, whoa.
And no thanks on that.
But this product makes you feel really, really good. A lot of focus too. A lot of focus and high energy. So check out Shocked Energy, code CGSN. Until that, we'll see you next week for episode 55. Hopefully our boy Andrew is done conquering whatever he's conquering. And hey, we'll probably be back on stream tomorrow, Sunday, October 3rd. So be on the lookout for that announcement on the Yellow Card Podcast Twitter, which is @PodcastCard. Until then, signing off, Diego Galvis, Chris Jones. See you all next week.